A
time of peace, when the Avatar kept balance between the Water Tribes, Earth Kingdom, Fire Nation, and Air Nomads.
I love the unique episode 1 intro, because this is the only time you get this level of exposition in the intro, where like...
And the Fire Nation is nearing victory in the war.
The Fire Nation is nearing victory.
2 years ago, my father and the men of my tribe journeyed to the Earth Kingdom to help fight against the Fire Nation.
The men of my tribe left to sail to the Earth Kingdom to help in the war. Like, there's just so much in this first episode unique intro. Yeah, I love the intro.
So like this, it's like Imperial Japan. Like you have your warships lined up. They're in like that they're setting the show up to be an entire cultural thing. Like, yeah, you've got like torn down Shinto altars and like everything like that. Then you pan to like the indigenous like dugout style canoes. So like intro literally starts setting you up for like, hey.
Yeah, episode 1 you kind of see just how multicultural and how everybody, like all the different tribes and nations of this world are like so very distinct.
This is something that I just noticed watching it this time, and I've watched this show so many times. So, like, even the front of this canoe is made out of bone. And, like...
I never noticed that.
So, like, and then, like, their tools are made out of bone. And then, like, so another thing, Sokka has this spear that you don't see him always have throughout the show. And the point of it, like, is made of a jawbone.
It's like a whale jaw or
it's
something.
It's a jawbone, but, like, no, because it's got, like, canine teeth and stuff.
Yeah, true.
And so, like, I'm like, we have never seen an animal in the South Pole that is like it's like a predatory, like where it has like that kind of a jawbone. And then I'm like, okay, you have this primitive where it's like the bow is made out of bone, and like Sokka's got this, but then all of a sudden he's got like a metal boomerang with a blue orb in it,
right?
And I'm like, what is going on with the tool making down here? Like, his boomerang just doesn't make sense to me. Like, the spear totally makes sense. I'm just like, what animal did that come from? My guess is, I'm wondering if like the seals later in the episode, because like there's seals,
seals,
where
or
they have
think of Legend of Korra. What's Korra's dog?
Yeah, the polar bear dog.
Polar bear dog.
Yeah, but she's North Pole.
Oh, she is North Pole, isn't she?
You are the most sexist, immature, nut-brained... I'm embarrassed to be related to you!
So, this is super early in the show, but I love Katara blasting this bigger iceberg surrounding Aang's iceberg, because this is such a massive fucking bending feat, and she does not know how to bend at this point. Like, she's just, it's pure anger. It's just pure rage at Sokka. It is out of fucking spite that she does
for being a sexist dipshit.
Yes. And I also love, let's go back a little bit, this face here. I love anytime they use this face. This was a face that they used a lot in Legend of Korra whenever, like, Amon took somebody's bending away.
Yeah.
Like, horrified. He is horrified at what she just did to that giant fucking iceberg. Like, he is legitimately out of his mind.
Yeah, because he's never seen anything like that.
Yes. He just called it magic water like 10 seconds ago.
So Aang frozen in the iceberg, right? So, you know, and he's been in here for 100 years. Now, a lot of the time, you know, for a lot of the show, you know, I've always heard, you know, it was the ice that, you know, kept him for... Bro, the ice is still shining. He's been in the Avatar state for this whole 100 years.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's the ice that's kept him. I think it's like him being in the Avatar state, because it's like, think about like Kyoshi and like Boomy and those guys that are able to like slow their aging and that kind of stuff. But then I'm like, okay, if it's the Avatar state keeping him alive, how the hell's Appa still alive?
That's the thing, yeah. Well, their lives are linked, though. They're guide animals.
Yeah.
And another thing, I know we wouldn't know this now, but in Legend of Korra, I think that's why he dies so young, is the Avatar state, like, sapped his life force or whatever, because he was in the Avatar state constantly for the whole time. Also, this, as many times as I've seen this, this is the very first time I've noticed that is Appa floating above him.
Mm-hmm.
Never, ever seen Appa before. If she doesn't bust this open, how long does Aang sit there inside that iceberg?
Yeah, I don't know. And then, like, once again, going back to the tools, she has like a metal sword with a blue orb. I'm like, where, like,
she chooses
the consistency.
We've been down this road before, Prince Zuko. I don't want you to get too excited over nothing.
This scene right here always gets me, bro.
This scene, man, has some symbolism.
Because, like, I never noticed this the first time watching this show, but, like, Iroh is immediately talking, and he's not even playing Pai Sho. He's playing some other game, like Mahjong or something. Yeah. And he's got an air tile just right away. And the very first thing that he does with this air tile is directly put it over a fire tile.
Yeah, as soon as Aang is shown, as soon as the beam comes out of the iceberg, he places the air tile over the fire tile. That is crazy.
That is just like such good writing.
So this is a theme I love in Avatar. It's obviously Aang is far from a master of the Avatar state, and he just full on faints from the Avatar state. And this is the first of many times where you'll see him gradually be stronger coming out of the Avatar state until eventually, like in the very finale, he's able to just like, go in and out of it without any kind of come down from it or any toll taken to him. So that's just the very first one. They put way too much animation time into Appa's gums and his teeth. They just kept making excuses to show his gums and his teeth, and they're way too detailed and way too animated, bro.
Yeah, especially whenever you're looking at the background and it's just like blue and white swirl.
Yeah, blue and white swirl, and then it's just...
So, do you guys live around here?
Don't answer that.
Dude, Aang, wearing the clothes that he's wearing up at the North Pole, do you think he's got to be, like, controlling the air current to, like, warm the air currents around him to be wearing what he's wearing?
Yeah, they do that. Yeah, they have the air regulation. That's why he can wear that.
I was just like, that's got to be such a big energy expenditure to just constantly be doing
just passively be doing it. I never thought about that.
Aang, wake up! It's okay. We're in the village now.
So they go to sleep on Appa, correct?
Yeah.
Like, they go to sleep on Appa, and Aang's having this dream. And Aang wakes up in this tent naked.
Dude, that is so weird. He slept so good that they swam all the way back to the South Pole.
Somebody put him in a tent, undressed him.
Sokka carried him inside and then undressed him.
Yeah.
How?
Either that or Katara did, baby, and that's why she's looking at all those tattoos again.
How did he? And
she's like, "Man, I want to riz this 12-year-old up, baby."
Aang, this is the entire village.
Oh, dude, I just saw it right there. That's got to be what the jawbone's from. That, whatever this thing is.
Oh, weird. Yeah, I've never seen one of those.
I finally found a bender to teach me.
Katara, try not to put all your hopes in this boy.
But he's special. I can tell.
I love this one. Gran is just kind of such a hater immediately. And she says a phrase that's kind of so funny in episode 1, if you've watched the series before. She says, "Don't put all of your faith in this boy." And yeah, Gran said, "Fuck a man. I don't need that shit, and you don't either."
Yeah.
Thinking of...
Ain't nobody need no mans.
Yeah, it's so funny looking back.
You ain't need no necklace.
No, power in firebending comes from the breath, not the muscles.
Fire comes from the breath, not the muscle, so give up your anger, you dipshit! Also, let me roast your nose.
Yeah, that scene's insane. So, number one, knowing that your nephew got burned in the face, you're just throwing a blast at his face. Insane.
And then he just stands there unflinching.
Zuko's cold. He ain't moving. But Iroh being, like, that's such a powerful control move to be able to throw that blast an inch from his face and stop it. Like, that's so fucking badass.
Well, and then what I love about this scene right here too is, so like, he's so angry, being like, "Zuko, you need to learn this, you need to fix this," and then Zuko's so adamant, like, "Teach me the next steps."
Right.
And then Iroh's obviously just mad, got this angry look on his face, and then immediately goes to just like kooky old, like, weird Yoda trope where he's like, "I am the master, but let me eat my roast duck."
Dude, it's such... Yeah, it's a very weird scene. I always felt it was very jarring because it seems like they wrote it specifically to be like, well, let's show the two sides of this character in one scene.
Very well. But first, I must finish my roast duck.
And it's like really controlled, powerful firebending. I'm a stern teacher, but I want what's best for you. But now let me eat this duck, and we've got other things to do.
It's like freaking Yoda in Dagobah, where he's like climbing on Luke's back and being all weird. And
I don't think it's very well done in this scene.
No, I don't at all.
It feels so written to be like that.
Yeah,
and I don't like it. I don't like it that much.
Yeah.
Have you seen Aang? Gran said he disappeared over an hour ago.
Wow, everything freezes in there.
It's rare. It is rare for a show in the very first episode to have the funniest joke you will ever make in a show. Wow, everything freezes in there. That is the funniest thing said in any episode, dude. I don't care. That is so f***ing funny off rip.
Okay, listen closely, my young pupil. Catching penguins is an ancient and sacred art. Observe.
Dude, what I love about this, so their whole culture has been like basically destroyed, right, by the Fire Nation, the indigenous culture.
Yeah.
You know, it's a mock-up of, what's, happened in America to the indigenous tribes, and everything's passed down like orally and traditionally and things like that. Stuff like that, right? And then my favorite freaking like thing that it's like, dude, it captures, like, because I've lived in Alaska with, like, the indigenous people up there, like, it perfectly captures, like, how sad that is, but how much humor they still have, too, where it's like, let me teach you the sacred art of penguin catching, and they just throw them a damn fish.
Right.
Aang, stop! We're not allowed to go near it. The ship could be booby-trapped.
If you want to be a bender, you have to let go of fear.
This is also a big foreshadowing thing. Katara's like, hey, don't go in there. And Aang's like, to be a bender, you have to let go of fear.
Oh,
That's like straight Guru Patik from later on, where like he's like, you've got to let go of Katara. You've got to let go of your fear of attachment to her and all of those kind of things. And it's the one thing Aang can't do.
Huh? What's that you said about booby traps?
This ship pisses me off. This ship's been here like 100 years.
Yeah.
And it's in a frozen tundra. Obviously, waterbenders have frozen it to, like, this part of the ocean. And it's, like, exposed. It's got holes in it everywhere to where, like, animals, the elements, everything like that can rust this ship, get to this ship. And, all like, for some reason, all the booby traps in it still work.
Yeah, it's really suspect. Because, first of all, I always thought that this ship was the one, and I know we're in episode 1, we should be talking about Hama. But the ship from her scene, like her flashback, I always thought it was that ship. But they said it was from the first attacks.
Yeah, the first attacks, and then it's haunted.
Wouldn't necessarily been 100 years ago. Like, I'm sure it would have been.
Yeah, somewhere after that. But like, it's been haunting like since before, like since Gran was young.
Yeah, like none of these weapons are rusted. Like all of the doors are fine and openable. It doesn't make any sense. But I don't know, that could just be unreliable narrator where Katara's a kid and doesn't really understand or know. She's just mistaken.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Hold on tight!
Imagine he misjudges and just smacks her forehead.
Actually,
bro.
from where he jumped, it looked like he would have done it.
Yeah, they didn't. The animation does it dirty. The craziest thing to me upon rewatching this is to watch the full episode. It goes to be continued, and then it pops up directed by Dave Filoni. That's the thing that blows me away. The man responsible for everything Star Wars directed like 8 episodes of season 1 of Avatar: The Last Airbender, and also like helped create the art style for the show. I thought there were 2 men that worked in TV and movies that were named Dave Filoni. Like, it's just so insane to see that the guy that's like head of Star Wars made The Boy in the Iceberg.
Well, now we know why Iroh acts like Yoda.
Now we know. That's really funny you said that. Son of a bitch. All right, well, thanks for watching.